Is no sale, no fee dead? Today, I am joined by the wonderful Ian Preston, who is an estate agent and also a prop tech supremo. Is no sale, no fee dead? Talk to me.
So it certainly isn't at the moment, is it? In the
No.
sense that it is overwhelmingly the way that agents charge. But let's just think of a couple of examples, Chris. Why do estate agents do no sale, no fee? What's the argument for it?
Well, it came about in the late 70s, early 80s when the Prudential were buying up all the houses, all the estate agents, sorry, and they use it as a technique to get business.
To get business. And so that it's sort of been adopted by the industry as the default
Mm.
standard, hasn't it? One of the
I was
examples.
still selling advertising in the late 80s, early 90s as well, I hope you know.
Well, um,
And the withdrawal fee.
and the withdrawal fee on top. Okay, right.
Yes.
So, so no sell, no fee has sort of become the dominant way of selling. And
The default setting.
yeah,
Yes.
default setting for every estate agent out there. And I think a lot of people think it's quite fair because at the end of the day, the customers who do sell pay, and the customers who don't sell don't pay. But here's the thing: the customers who do sell are subsidizing the customers who don't.
And it's 53% houses exchange, 47 come off the market. It's not fair that the 53 are paying for the 47, is it?
Absolutely right. And so the model which we use is a model which we call flexible fees, where the customer can choose either no sale, no fee. They can pay a small amount up front, typically £300 to £400 up front, and they access a 20% discount off no sale, no fee, or they can pay everything up front and they get another 20% off. So effectively, they've got 20% a greater premium for no sale, no fee, a standard fee where they maybe pay 300 quid up front and then paying everything up front. And on average, when customers are presented with that choice, we are taking over £1,000 plus VAT up front across all listings. And in addition to that, we're taking £3,600 at the back end. And that's on a 330k capital value.
Is this the same as the blended fee?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
A lot of people are talking about this blended fee model. I know some people are getting great results from it,
Mhm.
and some people are bombing out. Why? Why are some doing really well and some not?
Well, it's all to do with what you believe. And it's not what the customer believes, by the way, it's the mentality of the valuer. So if the valuer has got their head around this and they've had proper training.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like reservation agreements. If you've got proper training, it's wonderful. If you haven't been trained in it, you just see it as a barrier to entry.
Absolutely right. I was doing a training course on Wednesday with a brilliant agent, market leading agent, um, further south, and I had two groups of their valuers in, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And it was really evident from working with those guys who are going to go out straight away and use it, and those guys who won't. And for the business owners out there, if you adopt this strategy in exactly the way that I just described, it will grow your revenue by 20%. So if you're making a 10% profit margin and you add 20% to your revenue, that is taking your profits, let's say, from £100,000 to £300,000 without having to sell another house. There is a huge commercial upside to getting this right. And that's why those businesses that you're talking about who are adopting it, who are enjoying success, they're the ones who are really thriving.
The reason, because I'm into the sales psychology, is the reason it works is that you're giving control back to the vendor. And again, it's important that it's on the lap on an iPad, because you can move. And that's the magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're giving control back.
Totally.
We all listen to the podcasts about sales and sales psychology, but that's the reason it works, isn't it? You don't just say, well, it's this or this. You give the power back to the vendor.
Absolutely right. Choice. If there's one word which I think, epitomizes all of this, it's choice. Because effectively, by only offering no sale, no fee, you're giving the consumer no choice. And if you imagine you're having to price your product at double what you'd normally have to price it at. So there's definitely play in terms of being able to adjust your fees both upwards and downwards. But overall, if you can aggregate this strategy, it can lead to 20% more income.
Okay, so what would your message be to any bosses that think, I'm not sure my value would want to do this?
Well, I'm sure your valuer wouldn't want to do it unless they're properly trained, unless they're properly incentivized to do it. But let's just imagine let's say I'm paid 1%, and I'm sure most people are paid more than 1% commission.
But that's about average.
So about average. Okay. So if you list a house today and you get 1% on completion, if it sells, let's imagine 60% of them sell, you'll earn £26 commission in 9 months' time. Let's imagine that you now get an upfront fee, and let's imagine that your boss increases your commission to say 5%. You could walk away with 150 quid at the end of the instruction. So when the penny drops with the valuers, the amount of commission that they can earn can increase by 5 or 10-fold, depending on the commission scheme that their bosses are prepared to put in.
Does the number of listings go down?
No, not that we've seen. There's no difference in MA conversion because consumers still got that same choice of no sale, no fee. So, I guess if someone wasn't confident with it, could it happen? Of course it could. But I think if they're appropriately trained, appropriately incentivized, and they've got the choice, then it'll work brilliantly.
Thank you for your time today, Ian.
Pleasure.